Hello, welcome back to Story Reckless. I'm Nathan, and I'm the DM here, and I use he/him pronouns. And we are an actual play live stream playing in Descent into Avernus, D&D campaign. Yeah, let's do some intros.
I'm Claire. My pronouns are they, them. I'm playing Kadam, half-elf grave cleric, like I have been for the past 3 years.
It's been so long, my goodness.
No.
Oh my god.
My name is Olive. I use she and they pronouns. I'm playing Calliope for year and a half, 2 years?
Wow.
Something like that.
My
Yep.
God. Yeah, and unfortunately Enyo can't make it tonight. They are traveling, I believe. But next week they'll be rejoining us. And I may as well just say this now. Next week is going to be our anniversary. 3 years, which is wild. It will specifically be on Friday the 12th, I believe. So we are planning to do a little special anniversary stream on the 12th. We will be doing in an unrelated one-shot, so it won't be connected to the main story or the main campaign. I don't even know if it's going to be connected in any way. It might loosely be set in Faerun, but yeah, we'll see.
Alternate universe.
Yeah. Who knows? I might bring some, just because it's easier to reference things I know. It'll probably have some Faerun stuff. But another little bonus to that is that we will have a special guest next week. We are going to be having Tanel, who I've done some work with in the past when I was over at Dress to Quest. And she is a really talented artist and is going to be jumping in with us for this one shot to, have some fun, show off a little art. And
so good.
Yeah, it really is. I don't have a link ready, but, tune in next week on Friday, and I'm sure we'll share lots of it. With all of that said and done, I think we can jump into a recap. I think that was all we needed. So, let me switch over the mood. So, last we left off, you all were still at the Wandering Emporium. You had just went into the Infernal Rapture, and before leaving, Lulu asked if she could speak with the owner, Mahati, about her past, since they seem to be connected. He agreed and invited you into his private space, his office, it seemed. A very large, opulent, sort of marble chamber with bookshelves adorning the walls like a library. Another key feature was this strange mirror-like device up above his huge desk that seemed to be a projection, like a bird's eye view of the Wandering Emporium. You could see things moving around and going about their business. Through this conversation, though, I don't know if there was necessarily much revealed other than she had come through there, and Mahati said that she was there for a few days before she just disappeared, and he assumed that she had found a way out. She had been looking for a way to escape the Hells and had been there for quite some time. You, Kadam, convinced Mahati to look through... I think it was you, right? To convince him to look through his ledger.
Seems likely.
Yeah. To look through his ledger and looking through it to see if you could spot any names. There were some names that popped up that you recognize, mainly Bell and Mordenkainen. And they seem to be the last two prominent, powerful figures that were passing through the Emporium while Lulu was there. After this conversation, you left his office and went out to do a last little bit of... Oh, that's right, yes. You went out to... Kadam to find a barber, and went back to Bernie, and quickly discovered that she was the one responsible for you losing a portion of your memory. It seems that she has this defense. She told you she has this defense set up to protect herself, claiming that she is a representative of Bahamut, the Platinum Dragon, and is here in the Hells on behalf of Bahamut. She brought you all into her tent and asked, not really for anything in exchange for anything. She just asked if you'd be willing to give her any information you might have on Archon and Tiamat, as she specifically has been there observing them in fear that Tiamat may be plotting a way to escape once again, as she was very close to escaping apparently not too long ago, according to Bernie. She gave you a couple of potions of greater healing, just to help you in your journeys. No, nothing in exchange. First time in a long time since you've just met somebody who is willing to just help you for nothing. And trying to think if there are any other key things that came out of that interaction. I don't think there was. Other than a potential new ally, or hopefully a new ally.
Hopefully a new ally.
Oh, and a little detail that I thought was quite amusing was that Pip did deliver Mahati's head to to Zenith. And Calliope had some interactions with the Demon Icar proprietor. I don't think you ever got her name.
No.
So it's fine. You left Bernie's tent, heading back to your war machines to settle in for rest. I was gonna say the evening, but there's no real evenings here.
And did you pick up the 2 healing potions from Bernie?
I did.
Okay, great.
So we'll pick up there. You all are, unless you have anything else you want to do within the Emporium, we can just say that you are back within the war machines. I'm assuming you're all in the Demon Grinder. The Tormentor, I think, has had its work finished, so it's probably back out in the parking lot.
Probably better parked this time.
Yeah. But yeah, the Demon Grinder definitely is the bigger of the 2 vehicles. So if you all want to stay together, that would be the one to rest inside. So we open up here with you all inside the interior of the hulking metal beast that is the Demon Grinder, in what's probably more like the cargo hold. These things don't really have like sleeping areas, but it's sheltered and inside and away from prying eyes and ears, and you are here inside this tin can. So what would you all like to do?
Calliope, how many healing potions do you have on you right now?
I'm not sure. Let's see.
I know how many Valor does.
I got 3. More than enough for anybody.
Oh, excellent.
Wow,
all right.
Rich in health potions.
We have... Oh, also, if you want anything else from the Emporium, I still have 10,000 gold, so...
Why don't we save that just for a rainy day? I feel like we've splurged enough. We don't need to spend it all in one day.
I suppose you're right. Yes. All right. I will restrain myself.
I forget, do we roll to have Calliope spend an hour to repair the vehicles at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day?
We were doing it at the beginning of the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I think Calliope is just going to spend this evening or whatever doing the there's this thing in Europe where like old men take over their garages for like 20 years, making these like unpowered gliders, I think. And I think Calliope suddenly is bringing that energy to the table.
Okay.
And has like a big dummy, like all splayed out, kind of like wreckage from that glider that we came down here.
Mm-hmm.
Also kind of like, taking up 5 parking spots
Mm-hmm.
Out in this infinite abyss.
Oh, so you have it all outside of the vehicle,
I think so.
like
and
out in the.
Calliope is
okay.
running some like flapping tests and stuff. She got some ideas from being inside of the infernal rapture.
Yeah. So as if you so we see Calliope like pulling all of her stuff out of the demon grinder, sending it out onto this desolate. You're up on this like kind of rocky knoll that overlooks the blood fields that you came through. So we can see Calliope there like working, and in the background there's just this almost boggy mire of like ponds and lakes of blood and gore that stretch out into the distance.
I should have brought a tarp. Should have got a tarp.
Up here on the knoll, you're fine. There's no viscera up here, but it's just I think while you're probably, it's up to you, but I imagine Calliope, when she really gets into her work, doesn't necessarily notice the environment around her that much.
That's fair.
But it's a very striking image to see this little air genasi scuttling around, working on this Da Vincian-esque flapping machine, and in the background there's just this hellish blood field stretching out to the distance. Did you want to do? Is this like something you want to do specifically? Or is this flavor for something you're working towards?
Foreshadowing, casting flight spell on Big Dummy at some point.
Cool. Love it. Yeah. So you are getting this all together. Awesome. Anything else?
That's all I got. It's very busy making a flying machine. Yeah. I'm already working miracles. I haven't got time for chit chat and working miracles. Hey, Pip, have you seen this? Come over here.
Oh, wow. That's quite amazing as she comes trotting over, and she'll, definitely participate in this little endeavor.
So I know this isn't going to work for everybody. And like that was one of the restrictions that I had when I was working back up in El Terrell, that like it had to be kind of a general purpose thing. But I think I can like channel some electricity to like give it a little bit of,
Right, to actually get it to fly and not just fall very slowly.
Yeah, what is flying but falling very slowly eventually? Everything eventually hits the ground. But what if it didn't?
That would be quite remarkable.
If you go fast enough, then you'll just keep missing the ground.
You'd have to be going really fast for that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's possible.
Well, we can try.
Awesome. So you are working away out there on the outside of the machine on this. Kadam, are you getting up to anything before resting?
I'm gonna go bore again.
Okay.
And see if I can't curl up as a boar.
Yeah, I don't see why not. You could most certainly do that. So you're just gonna turn into a boar. Do you disrobe before doing so? Or do you forget?
Yeah, I do. No, I will disrobe before doing so.
Okay.
And then just make a little nest for myself with my clothing.
Okay, make a little nest and into a boar, spin around a couple times and nestle in onto your clothes. Yeah, you can definitely be a boar. I don't know how does this feel for you, Kadam?
So nice. I don't have to think complicated thoughts unless I want to.
Yeah. So you nestle in, Big Boar here inside the demon grinder. And Calliope, as you and Pip probably work on this for however long you need to or want to, eventually you start to feel kind of some weariness coming over you. Oh yeah, I will say though, I'll say that as you're getting towards the end of this, Calliope, You pick up on a sound, kind of coming from behind you. This, I think you recognize it actually because of where your past and being like involved in the military. You hear the sound of hundreds upon hundreds of marching soldiers.
Ah, jeez.
And as you look over in the direction of the sound, you can see coming through the blood fields towards the Wandering Emporium is probably like close to 500 soldiers moving across the blood fields, and they're being flanked by some look to be larger infernal war machines that are just slowly pushing along beside them. You can see banners kind of billowing in the hot wind as this huge collection of soldiers moves towards the Wandering Emporium. They eventually start to work their way up this hill towards the Emporium, and you see them starting to split off into smaller groups, probably groups of about 100 or so, and starting to kind of circle around the Emporium and setting up. Like as they get closer, you're seeing details. You can see this is hundreds of devils of different varieties. You see most of them are made up of the like bearded devils, you can see, which have like a lot of armor and lances and spears, all very orderly and armored up. There's some though that seem to be led by those chain devils, like maybe a small handful of them, but they're just almost like brutally whipping and lashing along these crowds of kind of misshapen humanoid shapes that are just kind of clawing along and moaning and growling as they go. But this large contingent of devils seems to be circling around the Emporium and starting to set up camp to kind of take a moment to rest here. Those two large demon grinders, they look to be come pulling in and riding up into the sort of parking area that's been established here. You see some devils leaping out and kind of getting ready. I would say, Kadam, that I think you're how deeply asleep is Kadam? Because I would say this is decently loud, and there's definitely some vibrations coming up through the vehicle, especially when those two demon grinders come up alongside.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's enough to kind of rouse Kadam?
Quite possibly. I also finished reading the description of the hybrid transformation here, and I would probably wake up naked and cold in my normal form after an hour anyway.
Oh, so you wake up discovering that it doesn't last indefinitely. Okay. Yeah, so you wake up cold. Maybe it is like an hour or so in as you wake up and you're trying to get comfortable again and figure out what to do is when you start to hear that rumbling. I don't know if you poke outside or if you just...
I will put clothing on and then...
Okay, so you look outside and see all this.
I think you also see Calliope in her tattered winged devil form. I'm gonna disguise self as soon as take it within the eyesight, I guess.
Turning into that. Calliope, you can see that many of the banners that are being held by these different groups of about 100 devils or so, they all seem to be the same banner, signifying that this is kind of one unit, like one legion. And you read Infernal, I believe, right? You speak and read Infernal. You can see that this legion seems to be signified as Infernal Absolution is the name of this legion as they're all setting up.
Is that historically significant in any way?
Make a history check.
$19.
Not necessarily. I'd say that you have some knowledge of, infernal. You read infernal, read and speak infernal, so you have some knowledge of like some of the hierarchies within the hells, and you would know that a lot of legions within the hells just give themselves names that are easier to just kind of quickly reference. Sometimes they're more personalized. You realize as you look a little more closely, this actually does say the 560th Infantry Legion, sort of in a smaller print below on these banners. And then the bigger, more like done up thing is Infernal Absolution. But as they're all like spilling in and getting ready, you see one... you've seen this before in Lulu's vision, this kind of bone white, spindly, very large, almost insect-like devil seems to be commanding this entire legion as they are sort of slinking along and barking orders at the various soldiers. But they come up to one of these sections of about 100 devils. And I would say you would know this as well, that the legions are broken up into cohorts, which make up about 100 devils, and then those are broken down further into what are known as lances. But as this as this this commander seems to be moving around barking orders, they go up to one of these cohorts, and you I don't know, you make a perception roll to see if you can actually hear what they're saying. And also, let me know if you want to do anything other than just... Are you just kind of still working on your thing? And
I think it's time to start packing up.
Okay, so you're packing everything up.
I think this is not a be splayed out and not ready to leave at a moment's notice sort of situation.
Gotcha.
That's a 13 on perception.
13? You would have to get closer to hear what they're saying. There's a lot of people that have just showed up, and there's a lot of commotion going on. But you can see them... sort of barking orders at what appears to be like whoever the next officer is below them, and they this commander has on bits of armor and like satchels and things, and they're pulling out what looks to be like a coin bag, and they're passing it to their underling, saying something, and then they kind of give a quick gesture and then go off to the next cohort. That commander, which appears to be one of the devils with all the like really sharp spines that kind of poke out everywhere, spins around and starts barking orders at their cohort, and they all start to file into the Emporium, making their way straight back towards the Infernal Rapture. And you can see that commanders post up at the entrance to the Infernal Rapture, and they're pulling out like individual coins and handing it to each of their individuals as they all start going into the Infernal Rapture.
Yeah, that place has capacity.
But this is what's essentially happening around you. There's a legion that has just moved in. They're all setting up, and you can see that depending on how long you observe this, it seems that kind of one by one these cohorts are going into the Infernal Rapture for R&R.
Right?
Let's not pick a fight.
Do I see... Do they seem to have prisoners of any sort?
Ooh, interesting. Make a perception roll.
Second question. There's part of Calliope's brain that pays attention to where those bags of coins are being handed around. And if somebody has a bag of like 100 soul coins, just nearby. Interesting.
Well, you notice that the main commander of the Legion, which with a 19, I'll give you the the structure. So, the commander would be referred to as, how the fuck do I say this word? Hold on. Is this a real word? Yes. Interesting. Oh, interesting. It's like a... Oh, Claire, maybe you know what this word is.
Is
Apparently
it commandant?
No, apparently it's like a religious thing, a member of the
Oh.
clergy. It's spelled Legate.
Legate?
Legate, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I thought that was like a Roman commander.
It's a Roman commander.
Well, according to this, the commander of a legion is known as the legate.
Yes.
And then below them is the signifier for the cohorts. Sure, the commander of a lance is an octio.
Okay, we're just using Latin terminology.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
So, anyways, the I guess what you can pick up, Calliope, the legate seems to have, all the soul coins, and they are passing out bags. You would assume of 100 some odd coins, to each signifier. So, so the legate probably has quite a lot of coins, on them. So.
Noted.
And I think you see them move after a while. If you are like observing this, after they make the rounds, they head towards one of those demon grinders and head inside. Kadam, you wanted to make a perception roll. What was your roll?
16.
16, and you're wondering if they have any prisoners. That's a good question. I'll do this. Sometimes. You look about this legion, and you're not spotting any prisoners. There doesn't seem to be anything like that. I'd say with your passive perception, though, even though these creatures, a lot of them are humanoid, but they're probably a little harder to read. You're not as used to the way they are. You still pick up, though, that there is an air of like celebration in this group. You're seeing a lot of like laughter and like kind of chummy camaraderie as devils are like patting each other on the back and partaking in probably extra rations and things like that. Yeah, there seems to be an air of celebration here with this legion.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, this is just something that is happening right now all around you. Whether you all want to do anything about it is up to you. They don't seem to be particularly taking notice of anyone in particular. They are very much doing their thing.
I'm happy to just get a long rest.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So, you pack up your stuff, Calliope, and head inside the demon grinder, and you all curl down for a long rest.
I think Big Dummy stays on watch.
Big Dummy stays on watch. Okay. Okay. So. As you so you all settle in, and you have Big Dummy on watch, and you're sitting here inside the demon grinder. I'm gonna say probably about, I mean, you're not entirely certain, actually. You all are sleeping here, and it's probably honestly, I mean, I think both you, Calliope, and Kadam kind of kind of rouse at the same time, around the same time, before getting a long rest. You have that sensation. You basically both wake up because you're incredibly, it's like stiflingly hot and humid in the demon grinder. You wake up kind of like dripping with sweat and feeling really uncomfortable, and the humidity has significantly rose. There's also this, as you're waking up and kind of brushing the sleep out of your eyes, trying to get comfortable again, what may have been just tiredness, you're starting to feel like a dizzy sensation sort of coming across your head, going kind of coursing through you. I need both of you to make intelligence saving throws.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. What is happening?
11.
Nat 1 for a
Ooh.
10.
Okay, so
Valor as well, or just the two of us?
yes, actually,
Okay.
I need everybody to do this. So I'm gonna roll for Pip.
Everybody meaning Little and Big Dummy too?
No, not them.
Okay.
Dirty 20 for Valor.
Oh no, Lulu rolled a 2 plus, I don't know. I don't think she has a very good intelligence.
AC wasn't 10, was it?
Hold on. What is... I just need to look up Lulu really quick. Well, you got a nat 1 on the save, so...
Well, it's a 10.
Oh yeah, Lulu fails as well. All right, so what was yours, Kadam? You got a 11,
11.
and Valor got
Dirty 20.
dirty 20. Lulu got a 2, and you got a nat 1, and Pip rolled a natural 9 plus I think 6, so Pip is fine. Calliope,
I'm fine.
I need you to pick a memory. Just a memory. Something, it doesn't even have to be significant. It can just be, it could be something small, it could be something big. It's your choice. But I need you to pick a memory.
Let's go with the HR orientation in El Terrell that we mentioned at one point, which was what got me able to like activate the like runes or whatever on that bridge up there.
Wow, okay. That's great. So I'm gonna, okay. You have a moment where that memory, for whatever reason, it pushes to the surface of your mind, and it is the most clear it has ever been. It feels like you're there for a moment. You can taste what the air tasted like in that moment. You can smell all the scents around you. You can hear all the little sounds and the precise sound of the person giving the orientation speaking to you. And their name, what is their name? You don't remember what their name is. You don't remember what their face looked like. In fact, you can't remember what they were saying. You don't remember where you were. Were you even in El Terrell? What were you even just thinking about? It doesn't matter. That memory's gone forever. And that knowledge, I would say, I would let you make the roll again because you could have gotten it from somewhere else. But
no, it's gone. It's gone.
It's gone. That memory is gone entirely. But I think there's still there is like a nagging sensation as you're lying there. And I don't know if you all are, I don't know what you're going to do in this moment, if you're actually going to get up or just try to, get back to sleep. Because this is really, it's like a very much an environmental thing. Like you've woken up, it's incredibly hot and sticky and humid. Your head is dizzy. And then, Calliope, you suddenly have this nagging sensation that you are like forgetting something. But the more you try to figure out what it is, it doesn't, you can't.
I'm gonna I think just like reach and like crack one of my little like snowball glow stick sort of things that I use for ray of frost to try to like cool it down, and then just like kind of like put my head on it and go,
Okay, yeah.
burn
So
is terrible.
shifting around and putting the cold
Yeah.
thing on your head to try to get to sleep. Okay. If nothing else, then you eventually, both of you, everyone kind of falls back asleep.
I'll crack a window.
Yeah, I mean, there's like,
Well, not a window, but
like hatches that pop
Yeah.
open. You can do that. Kadam, as you get up and do that and kind of pop open the hatch, the color of the light looks different outside. It's like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's like dimmer and more like diffused than it usually is.
is there cloud cover?
As you kind of look outside, there is like a thick mist, like a fog that is kind of strangely almost like a dark, like there's like it's very dark in coloration and maybe like hints of purple, but there is like a thick mist that is coating the landscape around you. In fact, you can't see the blood fields out beyond the knoll. You can just kind of make out the shapes of the Emporium off, kind of to your left. But yeah, there is a thick mist covering everything.
I'm gonna be real annoying to someone here and knock on one of the adjoining war machines.
Okay. So you come crawling out of your demon grinder and head over to the closest, we'll just say it's just one of the other demon grinders that you see have these big banners on them for the legion that was there, and you slam on the side of it. Sure. You wait a moment, hear some movement within, and then kind of as the hatch starts to spin. Well, let's say not the full hatch. It's like, again, one of those smaller like hatches like you popped open, spins open and pops open, and you see the like top half of the bone white devilish creature peering out, looking down. What do you want?
I would love some information if you have a moment.
You see the eyes darting around, and then they kind of narrow as they scan. Looks back at you. What do you say?
What is this mist? I'm relatively new down here, and I figured someone like you would probably know.
Need to get everyone in. And the hatch closes shut.
I see.
You hear movement inside, and then you hear the actual door hatch spinning and popping open as this probably 10-foot tall, maybe more, like lanky and almost insect-like, spindly devil comes kind of crawling out almost on all fours and standing up. You can see they have a huge glaive that is sort of slung across, or no, they're probably actually pulling it out with them and strapping it to their back and stretching as they look down at you just for a moment and then turn back. And immediately they shout out, "All right, you lot. We're all going into the rapture right now. Get out of the fog. Can't have you losing all of your brains to this shit. Go!" and you start to see more devils spilling out of that demon grinder. You're hearing movement out in the distance, and you can see some of the shapes of the various cohorts starting to move and uproot their positions.
I'm gonna go back in and wake everyone up.
Okay. You go in and you can rouse everybody awake easy enough.
Hey, folks. The devils are moving into the infernal rapture to get out of the fog. We might want to join them. Something about losing our brains?
Fine, it's just morning. Fine, it's fine. I'm gonna go back to sleep.
You might be able to sleep in the rapture. Look, when the devils get nervous about things, I tend to get nervous about things. I guess this is something I'm discovering right now. Do you mind terribly?
I'm fine. Go ahead. I can sleep here.
I'm going. Huh?
5 more minutes.
I'm going to scoop Calliope up and hold her like a small child.
Okay.
Toward the infernal rapture, assuming everyone else is willing to go.
Yeah. Everyone else picks up and goes with you. As you're walking along, Lulu, sort of sleepily fluttering next to you, she is kind of rubbing one of her eyes with her trunk as she flutters next to you and goes, I feel like I'm missing something back there. Just one moment. I think I left. I don't really have anything with me. I just have. Can you just wait a second?
Is it very important? Is she wearing her cat suit?
Is she wearing her cat suit?
She was sleeping in her cat suit.
No, I think she. What'd you say?
She wasn't sleeping in her cat suit. Oh, have we made pajamas yet?
Oh my
We
god.
have not made footy pajamas.
I think she has the cat suit probably, like, she was rubbing her eye, but I think she kind of had it, like, scrunched up, holding onto it with her trunk. She kind of stops and goes, well, yeah, no, I have that. I don't really have anything else, but I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know what it could be, though.
Let's get to the rapture.
Okay.
If it's a physical object, it's not going to walk off.
She kind of cocks her head towards Pip, and then back at you. Yeah, okay, sure.
Well,
and then continues to flutter along with you. So you all want to go into the rapture. There is definitely a bit of a rush as you find yourself like getting in, like it's probably the first time in this place that you've had to like really wait in a line, as you're suddenly finding yourself swooped up in a flow of soldiers, of devils, all sorts of types of devils moving in around you, pushing into the rapture. You notice, Kadam, that the other massive war machines that make up the Emporium, you kind of pick out that they are all like sealed tight, like all the hatches are batted down, and you realize that the design of these look a little different than like your run-of-the-mill war machines that are out here. They seem to be like turtled up, like very tank-like, in that they are fully sealed. But you are ushered, or not ushered, but you eventually find yourself into the rapture. It is really interesting because as you kind of go in, you can see like groups of devils moving in front of you, passing beyond the threshold, and almost like going into like darkness where they seem to disappear. And then as you walk in, you find yourself with your companions alone in that little waiting room. We don't have to go through it all if you don't want to. Like play this all out, but if you would like to stay, the host that you originally met comes out, asks what you were looking for. If you ask to stay the night, it'll just cost you all 1 soul coin. So it'll be another. Oh God, how many of there are you? There's 5 of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we sneak like Lulu in a bag or something?
You could try.
My question was going to be, can we just hang out in the foyer for a few hours?
Okay. All right. So you ask the host that. They go. That's not really how it works. I don't think Mahati would like that very much.
See.
This is a place of business.
Yes. And there is purple fog outside?
Yes, it's some Stygian humidity that has rolled in. It's
humidity.
Yes, sometimes the Styx produces quite a lot of atmosphere, for lack of a better word. Well, unfortunately, that's the place that you find yourself in, and you'll have to find some way to deal with that.
What are the effects? What does it do? I heard someone mention something about losing brains.
Oh, that's just a rather crude way of saying you will lose your memories if you're exposed to it for too long. It's not a guarantee. There's just a chance of that happening.
I'm immediately searching my memory. Like, do I feel like there's anything I have forgotten again? Is anything missing other than getting my hair conditioned?
Yeah, I mean, say like no roll necessary there, as you spend a moment like trying to think on if there's something off. You don't feel anything off about your body, and I mean, whether you lost a memory or not is hard to say. But you don't have that sensation like you're missing something. Like Lulu seemed really intent that she left something in the vehicle, which may be a sign, but yeah. So I'm so sorry to do this, but either you pay up to stay for the time you would wish to stay, up to 24 hours, or I may have to ask you to leave.
Would you take coin, like gold coin?
Some of the other businesses here do, but Mahati insists on soul coins.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I just want to go back to sleep. I think like Calliope's like slumped in some chair or something.
Just super tired.
Yeah.
I will give her 5 soul coins.
Thank you very much. We will get you a room arranged. You can come with me. And they take the coins and lead you down through the hall and into a wonderful bed chamber with plush beds, incredibly comfortable. Temperature is perfect, and you have probably the best sleep. I don't know. Maybe it's not the best sleep you've ever had, but it's definitely the most comfortable thing you've ever lied on.
Calliope's just out immediately.
Yeah. And unless you want to do anything else, you're able to fall asleep and get through the rest of your rest. Good?
No.
That is an expensive fog.
Yeah.
Well, I guess good thing you're at the Emporium.
Yeah.
Well, your rest comes to a close. You can all take a long rest and go ahead and mark that off.
And we still have the Heroes Feast up, yeah?
Yeah, I would say, just for simplicity's sake, I'll say that it will finish when you, like, bed down for your next long rest, you know?
Okay.
something to that effect. So probably like 12 hours, right? I'm doing my best to kind of roughly keep track of how long you guys have been like moving around and traveling, but I don't want to get too bogged down with it. So
Yeah. All right. Let's get that shield and leave.
I feel great. I don't remember coming here.
I mean, it's been quite nice. It's just also been expensive, but that's okay. We've also learned some things. That's also okay. Anyway.
More information's always better. That's always what I say. Wow,
That is what you always say.
yeah, Calliope, you were really out last night. Kadam was carrying you like a baby.
It's hard to wake up when you're old. It'll happen to you too someday. Just you wait.
Nah.
Sleep is very important. Though I am having a hell of a time with the lack of circadian rhythm happening here. I feel like you keep staying up too late.
It's
What time
real
is it?
weird.
I don't know what time it is. Man.
Yeah,
Let's go get that shield.
Yes, that reminds me.
I got some ideas. I want to talk to the salamanders.
No ideas, please, Calliope, at this point in the morning.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's great.
I need to quickly mark off the calendar.
When I do go back to get the shield, I don't know if we want to roleplay it, but I think Calliope's going to pick up some supplies for her flying machine.
Yeah, for sure. What are you gonna? I mean, yeah, this is. I'm assuming for flavor or.
For flavor,
Yeah.
Like-
What are you grabbing?
Well, what I have to work with is the remnants of the glider,
Mhm.
which kind of got banged up in the fall. So it might just be like repair kits or like some sort of like lighter metal.
Okay.
And actually probably like swapping out some parts of Big Dummy itself to like a lighter but like similarly strength metal, maybe some infernal alloys. Oh, is it a costume change for Big Dummy? It might be a costume change for Big Dummy.
Yeah, I love it. Okay.
Where I'm just like swapping out some like hunks of iron with like infernal iron, maybe.
Sure. I know this is for flavor, but would you be comfortable with like knocking off like 100 gold just to like
Can I
represent...
make some sort of skill roll to impress them with my
Sure.
ideas?
Yeah. Sure. Go ahead and yeah, this would be like, God, I want to. I don't know what like a
I
tinkering
don't know what
check,
my tactic
but like,
is.
yeah.
And it's probably a disadvantage because I annoyed them so much.
I'll tell you what, I
Yeah.
will aid you by standing behind you with a clearly large bag of gold as you try and persuade them of your ideas.
Yeah. So are you? Yeah. What is your tact here? Are you like? Is this like you're just trying to persuade them? Like you're dumping all these new ideas on them, or you're trying to
Yeah.
physically?
Hey, let me show you. I noticed that you had like your forge set up in this way, but like that sort of like hinge joint, it's all wrong. It's like too weak. You probably have to repair it a lot. See, look at those stress lines.
Oh my god. Okay. I mean, this is a persuasion roll, but if you're using like your tools in conjunction with it to like demonstrate, I will let you make a persuasion roll, but you can add your proficiency bonus for your tools as you're using your tools to like demonstrate
Okay,
the
so
things
that's
you want to. So it's a charisma check plus your proficiency bonus with tools.
Okay, so it's gonna be +9.
Oh my god. It's still absurdly
It's
high.
double.
Why,
Yeah,
you're just as good as I am.
and this is a flat roll because Kidam's aiding.
Yes. Yeah.
25.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. It takes some time, and they definitely like most of this. There's 3 salamanders, and like most of them are kind of ignoring you, except for the one that kind of has to listen to you because they're like clearly the person. you're
Good
basing it on.
ideas. It's the thing. Just because you don't like me doesn't mean you can't ignore. If you're worth any salt.
And eventually, over like a course of probably 15 minutes, Kadam, you just watch as Calliope is surrounded by these 3 gigantic, fiery elemental salamanders, watching with wide eyes, fascinated by what she's doing, and they start asking questions. And Calliope, you are like surrounded by these 3 massive creatures and are sweating profusely because of the heat that is emanating off of them. It is like
Here, have a glow stick or a frost stick real quick. And like
It's like-
patting.
one of them goes, "Oh, what is that?" and gets in real close and kind of licks the air as it just instantly like evaporates and turns to mist. It's like you're standing next to 3 bonfires. Like you're just like just so much heat radiating around you. But yeah, they are sufficiently impressed. So you can yeah, they happily donate scrap material to you to help you with your project.
Fantastic.
Very cool. All right. So with all of that gathered and resolved, you is there any last minute things you want to do at the Emporium?
Oh, I have a shield now too, don't I?
Oh
On
yeah,
top
that's
of
right.
that.
Yeah, you pick up the shield, so you get a +1 shield, +1 infernal shield. It's not gonna do anything besides a +1, but it is made of like you could describe what it looks like, but you know, some kind of hellish infernal iron to make this shield. But yeah, anything else you all want to grab or do? Okay. So, Calliope, as you trot away from your now maybe not friends but colleagues, the 3 fiery salamanders, the one kind of seems to be sort of leading this operation. As you walk away, goes, "Goodbye. Do come back. We'd love to hear more of your ideas."
See?
Uh,
I knew yeah, they'd come around.
and you go trotting away and gather up back inside your vehicles. Oh, did you want to do any work on the Tormentor before you leave?
Yeah, if I can.
Yeah.
I once again forget what the mechanics are for that.
I do too, and I'm gonna pull it up really quick and
It's
hope
been
that
like
it's fast.
6 weeks.
I know. Oh no, this isn't the right cheat sheet. Where is my cheat sheet? There it is. War Machine cheat sheet.
Lyra, I got some repairs to do on this. Do you want to like maybe go get some more soul coins? I know you mentioned it was expensive last night.
We still got 12.
You're kidding. Oh my god. We're rich.
Yeah. Oh, very.
So go ahead and make, I believe, okay. So to repair exhaustion is an intelligence check. You know what?
Of
Yeah,
course.
I'm gonna say it's the same because I think to repair the physical damage is a dex check, according to the rules. But I don't know. I feel like
That sounds right that we have homebrewed that
well,
to
no,
be intelligence.
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say I don't see why you can't use intelligence to repair this, especially being an artificer. So yeah, go ahead and make an intelligence check, and you can use your tools to do so.
Okay,
And
31.
Yeah. So you easily make it, and then in terms of actually repairing, if you'll remember this, it is a slow process. It's not
Yeah.
an easy thing, but you can spend multiple hours to keep doing this check if you want for the repairs. I think it was for the repairing the exhaustion, as we were limiting that to once per day.
It's 2d4 plus 2, yeah?
I think it's like absurdly small. Healing.
We're currently at 26 out of 60 HP for the Tormentor, and 118 out of 200 for the Demon Grinder, and 1 point of exhaustion for the Tormentor. We could just knock off that last point of exhaustion.
Let's just knock off the last point of exhaustion.
Okay.
Okay.
So there you go. The exhaustion is gone. So it is back to normal. No more disadvantage on ability checks, and the speed is normal. So yeah, your Demon Grinder is good to go. Awesome. So you spend an hour making those repairs, and by the time you're done, In fact, actually, I think by the time you're done, during this hour, the legion around you has been kind of rousing, and by the time you finish the repairs, there's a low, like, horn that blares from the lead demon grinder, and the two demon grinders next to you start up, and all of the soldiers you see are starting to get into ranks, and this huge legion of devils starts to fall in line and march away from the Emporium as you finish these repairs. And by the time you get into your vehicles, you can start to see them working their way off into the distance, this big dark shape on the landscape just moving away. But you're ready to go, and the vehicles start up. Go ahead and mark off 2 things of fuel as you take
That
off.
leaves us 2 left.
So
Where'd all our fuel go?
you can buy more if you want before you leave. It's up to you.
This will probably be enough.
I will go buy more fuel. We don't need to do anything about it. I'll just do it.
Okay, how much
I'll
do you
break
want to
it
buy? As I think it's 100 gold per
So much.
flask.
I want the
She's not selling the unprocessed stuff.
She's
That's
not
the
selling the
thing.
unprocessed
Otherwise,
stuff.
I would have bought it.
Just the process, yeah.
Oh,
Anchors
yeah.
away, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll buy 5 flasks.
There you go. Okay, so go ahead and mark that off, and
Yep.
I'll record it.
cool. So you go taking off across the Avernon landscape.
Ridiculous.
More glass flasks.
I need you're traveling, so let's make some travel rolls. So first, one of you go ahead and roll 2d10.
I'll do it.
Okay.
4 and a 4.
Okay.
Well, it shouldn't take us more than 2 hours to get back because it took us 2 hours to get here.
Roll a d20 for me.
Nathan.
10. Rolling exactly average.
Okay. Roll 2d12.
Sometimes I think you just want me to roll numbers. 6 and an 11 for 17.
Okay.
I don't think that this is on a table or anything. I think you're just making us sweat.
And roll. No,
I love making my players roll numbers. It's always for something,
yeah.
but sometimes it's like the height of a cliff. Roll 2d4 plus 6.
Yeah.
It's like they get so nervous.
I do need you to roll one more d20 for me though.
19.
Okay. Okay.
that's one side crest down. It's all downhill from here. Just you're gonna fall down like dumbass.
I sure hope so.
Okay. So you
Nathan's having a good time.
Nathan's playing D&D with himself again, and we don't even get to watch.
I know. Okay. Got it. Okay. You take off, going across the bloody fields of this blood mire that you were driving across, trudging through muck and sloshing through the gore at times, until eventually that landscape gives way to the more typical arid badlands that stretch out before you. The drive goes for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours.
What's
You
going
continue
on?
Driving and driving. The hand is continuing to spin in erratic directions and then coming to settle, and you're having to turn once again, and then it spins again and you're having to turn and keep shifting in the direction you were originally heading in to try to keep in line with this hand. Pip keeps checking in with Gargouth, and Gargouth ensures that you're fine, you're going in the right direction. Just trust in the hand, trust in his sense. After about 8 hours of travel, starting to feel a bit of the weariness of the day riding on you. You come up and over a craggy hill, getting to the top of this large ridge, big boulders jutting out like crooked teeth as you come in between them. And as you get to the top and start to crest down below, you immediately realize that you are starting to go down towards what you can see sort of off and a little ways to your right, an active battle happening very close. There is cries and shouts and bestial growls. You can see in the mass of this huge legion of devils that are pressing into just piles and piles of demons. Some of them starting to peel off and flee, little dark shapes darting away from the battle. It looks like this legion of devils is consuming these demons, bringing them low. In fact, you're realizing that part of the legion is starting to, like an amoeba, crest around and engulf this massive collection of demons. And in the center of it all, you see a creature, this what you suspect is a demon, that is as big as a building, probably like 20 feet tall, big horns, kind of hunched shoulders that's letting out huge roars that cascade across the landscape. And you can see multiple just like pin cushions, like points and spears sticking out of its body, some chains that are going down into the crowds of devils as it's being getting pulled down into the muck. But as all of this is happening, well, I guess first off, what do you, the two of you, do at the top of this hill as you see this battle happening
Time to
below
back
you?
up. Time to back up.
Okay, so backing up, back down over the hill and out of sight. So you're just gonna try to find a way around?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you back up down the hill, start to turn and kind of crest along this hill, going in a direction away from this massive battle. As you're moving along, who would be in the lead car? Is the Demon Grinder still leading the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in the Tormentor. in
Okay,
the
so
back.
that's Calliope at the front. So Calliope, as you're leading the way, for just a second, you catch a dark-shaped movement off to your left. We'll say that you kind of backed up and then turned to the right and started going along the crest of this hill. Off to your left, at the top of the kind of almost jaw-like ridgeline of this hill, there's a flash of movement and then an explosion of dust and rocks as something bursts through the rocks above and starts to slide down the hill, kicking up dust. You see this creature is maybe, we'll say, 200 feet in front of you, kind of going at an angle, beelining to the bottom of the hill. You catch flashes of fiery red fur and kind of bluish skin as this ape-like creature is barreling down the hill. And riding on top of it, there seems to be some little creature, and it's just kind of as these two creatures are barreling down the hill. And in another instant, you see more movement behind it as a fiery horse crests over the hill as this dark, fiery horse with flaming eyes crests over the hill and goes barreling down the hill in pursuit of these two creatures, and there seems to be something riding on the back of the flaming horse towards them. You guys are in vehicles, so you could probably outrun or outmaneuver these things easily. So I'm going to say, Calliope, this is kind of up to you because you're the one seeing this happening out in front of the column.
Do I have any idea what this ape-like creature is? Is it a demon?
Go ahead. You can make an Arcana roll.
24.
Yeah, definitely. It's a Barlgura, a ape-like demon that seems to be fleeing from a nightmare, and the creature riding on its back is very armored, but you just barely catch a glimpse of those like barbed tentacle-like appendages coming off the lower jaw of the creature riding it. It looks to be a bearded devil that's riding on the back of this flaming horse that's rocketing through the sky. The horse clearly looks like it's going to catch up with the Barlgura easily. It is much faster.
We want none of this. I
Okay,
think.
cool. Yeah, so if you want to avoid this this little altercation, I'm gonna say go ahead and do.
It's not going to go well. I have a bad feeling about whatever you're about to ask me to do.
Well, I need to actually look up something to see if because I don't even know if the flaming horse, I don't even know if that can keep up with the war machines. I don't think it can.
It's 90 feet around, so 180.
Yeah, so the flying horse has a fly speed of 90 feet, but
Yeah.
I think the machines can go like
100.
Yeah, 100
yeah.
per round.
Yeah, so it
300 per round. So you can bonus action dash.
So even if it wanted to, it couldn't keep up with you. So yeah, you can easily curve out of the way, and these creatures just go on their pursuit past you as you go barreling past. I think, Kadam, you notice, because you're in the back, the demon grinder goes barreling past you, coming up behind quickly. You suddenly spot further down on the hill to the right now this pursuit happening, and you do see the rider on the back of the nightmare notice the two machines barreling past, but they seem intent as they look back towards the Barlgura and go rocketing down towards it. And the last thing you both see as you get to the other side of this hill and go down into another gully is the figure on the horse raising their glaive as they're about to come down on the Barlgura, and you go out of sight, driving away. Yeah. If you just keep traveling, you do not see the bone brambles by the end of your time traveling today.
Oh my god.
Oh gosh.
I mean, we could just keep driving, right?
Yeah, if you want to do, I think last time you did something where you like took shifts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time to like start napping about probably like halfway through the day, like Pip's like starts napping so Pip can like shift in when it's Calliope's turn to go under.
Okay. Yeah. And then Valor switches out with you, Kadam.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if I had you make any kind of roll for this. I think we'll just let it happen. We can just simplify things that way. But yeah, you take shifts and you drive across this barren, rugged landscape, passing by long forgotten battles and ruins and bleached bones sticking out of the earth, the hell. You travel for, I mean, yeah, about 17 hours is roughly the time that you travel before.
That's a road trip.
Oh yeah, before you start to see what the hand is pointing at, and it is not the bone brambles. Something seems to have gone awry. And when Pip kind of
Gargath!
yeah, exactly.
Gargath!
Pip relays back as Gargouth is chattering in her mind. I guess Gargouth can talk to all of you. Yeah. Look, it's not perfect. This happens sometimes. It's how the hells are. We'll have to recalibrate.
What
but-
was it pointing to?
Yeah,
Can
what
we
you
see?
see coming into view up ahead, stretching out in front of you, there's some kind of smaller, there's like a smaller collection of black, like gravel cinder cones. Like they look like little volcanoes essentially. So if you don't know what a cinder cone is, it literally looks like it's an actual geological feature. It looks like a cartoon volcano. It's like a cone. So there's these black cones of gravel. There's a little collection of them, and in the center of this kind of valley of cinder cones, and there is like black smoke trickling up out of some of these. And then center of it is the largest sword you've ever seen, sticking up out of the ground. And I'm talking like it's probably like it might be close to 15-20 feet long, just wedged into the ground and coming up out of the ground, like it was like it had been dropped from a distance and just like sunk into the ground. And that's what the hand is pointing at as you were approaching it.
I'm kind of curious about this, actually.
And I'll like wait for you to stop and talk about it, and like pull up beside you and be like,
Yeah,
Want
Kadam,
to check it out? I mean, we drove all the way here.
somebody pinged the map. I think that was Kadam.
Yeah. It's me.
Guess correctly. Yes, it is on the map. Yeah, I mean, do you want to approach it?
I mean, we're here.
We're here, yeah.
Might as well stretch our legs.
Okay. So you continue driving towards this massive sword. As you get closer to it, you realize that next to the sword, sort of looks like it had fallen such that there's a helm. Like an appropriately sized helm for this sword. So it's a massive helm, like a small little hovel, basically, that is cracked, and it looks like a for our context, it's kind of in the style of like a Roman legionnaire, almost, like, you know, kind of that. With the like crest on the top. It doesn't have any like plumage. It's just got like an iron, like a metal crest. But the helm itself is like cracked and damaged, and it's sitting such that there's like an interior space under it because it fell kind of perfectly in that way. And that's what you're approaching. And as you get closer, you realize that the pommel of the sword seems to be gleaming, like there's almost a little bit of like glow or light that's radiating off of the pommel. And
Did we find it? Is this sword?
You realize it's coming from this like scarlet red gem that looks like it's embedded in the pommel of the sword. And the gem is probably like almost basketball sized.
Gargath, do you know anything about this?
Let's find out.
No.
Useless.
I don't know everything that's here. I haven't been here in a while, okay?
I think
take
it's
a look.
worth me.
Well, how close do you get to this landmark as you are approaching it?
I'd like to very cautiously. My objective is to go up to it and cast Identify on it at some point,
Oh wow, okay.
but only if it looks safe. Like kind of like circle it for a bit, like
Okay.
do some circles.
Just like circling it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, make a perception roll for me, Calliope, as you start leading the caravan and circling in on it.
Anybody else want to help me with this, or?
I mean,
I
Kadam,
almost
Other-
offered you guidance, but I am not physically near
I was
Yeah,
about to
it's
say,
true.
Kadam is in the other vehicle. So, Kadam, you could make your own perception roll if you want.
you. All right.
Or I guess.
Oh, I got a 24 anyway.
Well, I can only beat that if I rolled a 1.
Yeah. Okay. So Kadam, you're just
I'm just, like,
following
kicking up
Calliope.
dust.
Yeah. There's just dust. Just.
That's so
Okay.
clear.
Yeah. Calliope. You get closer and closer to it. It seems to be abandoned. Doesn't seem like there's anything there. But probably, I'll say, within like 200 feet, right? Like about the distance you could travel and around as you're getting closer and closer to it. You see movement inside of the helm. And you see a really spindly figure sort of peering out and watching the vehicles pass. And it looks to be like kind of a stretched, emaciated, spined devil, like one of the devils with the really like thin spines that kind of protrude everywhere, and it's just kind of like watching as you go past, and then sort of retreats back into the shadows, away from you as you're circling. But you did catch it for a moment.
Yeah. I'll pull up again alongside and be like, "Hey, it's some sort of spine devil in there. I think we could take him if they want in trouble. But want to go make a friend?
You know me. I love friends.
I'll follow you then."
All right. And I guess we can get out and head towards the helm.
Okay.
Keep the engine running.
Oh
Might
yeah,
need to come
sure.
Yes,
So
yes.
so wait, are you're gonna like park the vehicles like 200 feet away, and the two of you are gonna hop out and walk over? Okay, cool.
I think that's a good plan.
Okay, so the two vehicles sit there idling. Valor and the Tormentor, Pip and the Demon Grinder, just waiting cautiously. I guess Lulu will stay with Valor. Lulu peering out, watching you as you go. As you start to leave, she goes, I mean, I can dart over there really quick if you need me to. I'll probably be better doing that because I can't really operate any of the weapons. I'm a little too small.
Fair.
Oh, we should make you a tiny ballista. We can do that.
Yeah. I wonder. Yeah, that'd be okay. Well, good luck. But you start walking towards the helm. Okay. What do you do as you approach? Just walk straight up?
Can I say at this point that I have figured out what hello is in Infernal?
Yes, absolutely. I would say hello. Yeah.
Okay. I will call out hello in Infernal.
Okay. How far away are you when you do this?
Like 60 feet. I want to give some space.
Okay.
I don't think Kadam fully grasps the not dialects, I don't remember the word I'm looking for, but the nuances of formality and hierarchy that is implied in every word you say in Infernal.
You call out hello in Infernal. There's a moment. Do you continue to walk forward, or you just kind of stop and wait? And
I think we
call out?
pause
Pause.
for a
Slow,
second.
yeah.
You kind of wait a few beats, and then you see that movement and see a spindly hand reach out and grab around the helm, and see the little kind of thin face poke out, kind of big eyes looking out towards you. And they look at you and call out back in Infernal.
Hello? What brings you?
And this is all in Infernal, so you
Yeah.
immediately lose what they're saying Kadam, but you, Calliope.
What brings you to Uldrak's grave?
Says that this is Uldrak's grave, asking why we're here.
Oh, pardon me, but do you speak common? In common.
Yes, I do.
And it switches immediately. They switch to common. Do any of you speak giant? No? Okay.
No,
So-
no, Papatos.
I discovered this earlier in today's session. I actually have like one more language to pick. I forgot to pick it this whole time.
Okay. If
I
you
was
can
going-
think of a good reason that you would know
I-
giant, you
I
could.
was leaning towards Draconic because that seems a more like
Yeah,
arcane,
yeah.
sort of like Latin sort of situation.
Yes, absolutely.
Unfortunately, probably not giant.
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
I would, but maybe you pick up that it was giants.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history with giants and dragons, so there might and you being so like academically minded, you might kind of like
I think that was giant.
like recognize it slightly. But yeah. But they're looking out at you, cocking their head curiously. This thin-spined devil.
We have come to Uldrak's grave out of accident. We were meaning to go somewhere else, but we were here, so we thought we would stop and learn about Uldrak.
Oh, yes. Most who come on accident, wandering upon poor Uldrak, here all upon their lonesome, here in their new home, Uldrak's grave. Well, you can find out all you want. All you have to do is ask Uldrak, and Uldrak will tell. Uldrak will tell.
Are you Uldrak? How would we ask Uldrak?
Yes, I was Uldrak. I was once Uldrak. Uldrak was once a great, great being. Great warrior. Great Uldrak. All you must do is ask. Barunda.
You remember yourself.
Uldrak remembers much.
Were you turned into the devil, or did you die and come here kind of the more natural way?
Uldrak failed, and Uldrak was turned into this wretched creature. And Uldrak has waited patiently for the day Uldrak can reap his revenge. But
Oh, yeah?
that day has not come for Uldrak.
Revenge on who?
Her name is venom in my mouth. That dreadful queen. That horrible, horrendous Tiamat.
Oh. You want to come with us? We're actually headed in that direction, probably. We have a few stops to make before we actually get there.
You see Uldrak.
We're not friends with her, though. We're not working for her.
You see Uldrak like dart up, eyes go wide and kind of shrink down, pulling back into the helmet.
Uldrak has failed. Uldrak must sit here and dwell on his failure. No going back to Tiamat. Not until Uldrak is ready. Not until Uldrak has returned to his true form. Then Uldrak will bring ruin upon her head.
I turn to Calliope. You think a greater restoration wouldn't be sufficient, right?
depends on how that happened. I mean, if it's lasted for as long as it has, seems like it's probably pretty powerful magic.
I mean, it could have happened last week for all we know.
Do you think it happened last week?
I mean, the way he's acting, no, but...
If they wish to help Uldrak, but it would be too much for Uldrak. It's an impossible task for these lowly creatures. There's no way.
Oh, you're a pretty good judge of that, probably.
Looks back at you.
Yes. I don't think... Uldrak wishes to be alone.
And pulls back into the helm, into the dark, disappearing into the helm.
I was trying to bait you into saying what you needed help with. We're open to it, but can I look at your sword?
You hear kind of muttering inside the dark helm. Hard to make out.
Just gonna take a quick peek.
And I'd like to approach the sword.
Sure. You go toddling up to the sword, and it towers above you. What do you want to
Does it have like runes and stuff? I know that giants are big into runes and rune magic.
Yes.
And could this sword perhaps be magical enough to cut some chains of a similar stature? Just cast in.
Make an Arcana check.
Roll above a 6.
Challenge impossible. 3. So 16.
16. You're uncertain if it could cut the chains, but it does have some runes, and looking at it and looking at the helm and kind of the design of it all, this seems to be from this seems to be celestial, and you suspect that this is from like mythic celestial creatures. Like this might be a titan's sword and helm. It maybe could chop chains if it was wielded by a titan.
Hey, Aldrich.
So you're much
Where-
closer now. You look over into the darkness of the helm, and you just see Uldrak is curled up and pushed away into the corner, mumbling to himself.
I would love to help you if once you started to your old form, you do me a favor and right a great evil that's been done to innocent people.
Uldrak stops muttering and looks over his shoulder at you.
It's an impossible task. I feel it to be impossible. Uldrak does not believe it could be accomplished by you. What makes you think you could do it?
Well, there's no way for me to know until you say what the dang thing is.
Exactly.
And
We
we're
don't-
trying to do a different impossible task right now, and we're well on our way. And this, what's one more on the pile? Doesn't hurt to say, right?
What would you ask of Uldrak in return?
Zariel has bound an entire city from the material plane down here in hell, and is slowly winching it down with these big old chains. I would ask that you restore to your proper form, use your great sword, and cut the city free and help it return to the material plane.
Make a persuasion roll. This is a big one.
Can I guide you?
You can guide Calliope, yes.
Okay, so that's 1d20 plus 1d4 plus 5.
Okay.
Why did I have to do this roll? Why do I keep doing the face?
It's a good. I mean, I'm not gonna set the DC that high because it's a good argument.
26.
God, you are rolling really well tonight.
19 plus 2 plus 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Poor old Drak can only break this wretched curse if old Drak spills Tiamat's blood on the plains of Avernus. Only then will old Drak's curse be broken, and he will be returned to his true form.
Yeah, that one's pretty hard. It's pretty hard.
And with that, I think we're gonna call it a night as that is revealed to you. Oh, actually, you know what? I got a better one.
Oh yeah.
One last detail. Uldrak, kind of looking at you now, there seems to be hope welling up in the eyes of this spined devil. He kind of, almost Gollum-esque, kind of crawls towards you, getting closer and looking up at you.
Uldrak knows where blood could be procured, not from just the Queen herself. Uldrak knows that her champion carries a vial of her blood around his neck.
And we'll end there. All right.
We need to get back there.
Oh my god.
Thank you for joining us tonight. That was so unexpected. And we'll see you all next week. And then, yes, if you please, if you want to tune in for our special anniversary stream on Friday night, we'll do it the same time, 7:30. We're probably going to go a little later, 7:30 to 9:30, to have a full 2 hours. But yeah, we'll be doing a special stream with special guest Tanel, and it'll just be a fun little one-shot that's unrelated to our main campaign.
If you have friends who you've been wanting to get them into Story Reckless, it's a great entry point because there's nothing to catch up on.
It's true. It'll be a completely unrelated stream. And I will tease that Tanel likely will have some really cool art to show for that stream. So it would be, I hope you can join. All right. Have a lovely evening and good night.
Good night.